Oh my goodness. Of course, as soon as I push that live button, my eyes want to start acting a fool. My goodness, y'all. I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning. And it maybe like 11. I don't know what time it was. I fell asleep for like 10 minutes. My phone rang. I was back up. I'm back up again. So I decided before I pass out or before I look up and the whole day is gone, I just decided I would come live and say, "What's up? Is today a Tuesday?" Because it don't feel like a Tuesday to me. It just feels like a day. A day. Ugh. It has been a long night, but I am grateful. I am grateful that I'm still in good spirits. I am grateful that though things don't ever go the way you want them to, they are worked out the best way they can. I'm grateful for that. It's just been a night. It's been a night. Hey, Susan. Hey, Dana. I was just coming on and saying how I've been up since 1 o'clock this morning. And I literally was like, you know what? Like, I had my whole bonnet still on my head. And I said, you know what? Go on and take the bonnet off. You could at least take the bonnet off. So I took it off, guys. And I said, let me come on here and see how everybody is doing. And tell you how I'm doing, and tell you what's going on with me. Like I said, at 1 o'clock this morning, I got a call from my oldest son saying that he got a call from Texas saying that my youngest son had been arrested, but he didn't have really much more information. So I was like, oh no. So it was, first of all, no one wants that phone ringing in the wee hours in the morning. That's always gonna make you jump up. So that already threw me off by that, happening. And then having to sit and play the patient waiting game, I was like, oh my goodness. And I saw that Terry Lynn had just sent me a thing on IG saying she was getting ready to go live maybe about 10, 15 minutes earlier than I had woke up. And so I said, oh, well, the good thing is at least there's something to go in, and not just sit here in idle time. Hey, Cosmic Crazy. Not to sit here idly waiting to know what's going on. And so I went on. Then I said, well, she told me, come on up. I said, you know what? I'm going to go up. So I also, because I was in the chat, just watching it first. And I wanted to say something, but my mind was just everywhere, as a parent, no matter what, I would love to say as a parent, when our kids make it, there's so much joy. There's always joy when your kids make it and they do well and they succeed. And that's always a good thing. But there's something, and when something goes wrong with them, that holds a bigger thing on you, it makes you see every fault like a mirror that you ever made, every decision, and even for me, you start thinking about, why is it when you're trying to go right, everything goes left? Why is it when you're trying to do right, you're reminded of how easy it can all go wrong? And so I had to come out of that. And so I just spent the time laughing. I looked up and I said, wait a minute. My brother called me at 7. I said, wait a minute, please tell me there's no more news. And he was just calling because he had woke up early, and he was like, I knew you'd be up. And so we end up chit-chatting, but I end up staying on the live and then talking with him on the phone, then watching some other videos, catching up on some things I, had missed or I had started watching on Sunday. And even on Monday, I just wanted to do some catching up. But what I want to say to everyone I encounter, I can't speak for anybody else's. I want to say thank you. Thank you for going to that part of your heart, to that space in your heart where you can be happy and good and nice and kind and understanding, because the love that people have shown, not just last night solidified it for me, but well, this morning we should call it. I'm gonna call it last night because it was still dark. But that really makes me feel. That really makes me feel like, just better, just in a better mood. Nothing like good energy moves you. And so sometimes you don't even realize your energy is low until it lifts up. And so I'm thankful for that. I'm thankful for every kind word. I'm thankful for all of that. I'm thankful that I'm truly giving you me and it's being received, you know. So I'm thankful for that. I truly am, because I know, you know, just even the way my mental works and the way I process things, I know how bad it could have turned me mentally, even if, you know, in the end, blessings, everything turned to where it's something we can handle. You know what I mean? And I tell the young people, older people, everybody, sometimes we have to be real careful on what we do, who we're with, and you have to know. But I'm just glad that everything could be okay. But I still would have been in such a dark place had I just sat in the house and just sat here for hours trying to figure it out, because I didn't really find out any real answers. Even with trying to check and keep finding my son and look for him, they hadn't even put him in the system. So then you start worrying. You start worrying about what if his mouth was smart? What if something happened? What if it was you? You never know, and it'll go to the worst places. But it literally, I was left only to trust in something higher than me, and trust that the God that loves me loves my son more than I could ever. And that protects me, protects him too. So I was able to see that and feel that. So my heart never felt like a way to go down. It only felt a way to go up. It only felt a way how to take this moment when I spoke to my son to let him know how it could have been something different, but how important it is, you know, how important it is for us in life to think everything through. Everything. That's one of the biggest steps I learned in growing up, was not just reacting, because in our reactions, it might be justified at the moment, but it's not, you know, it's not the right thing to do. Or so it's hard to explain, because like I said, one, I've been up since 1 o'clock in the morning. And two, there's an excitement in me just from love and support, you know. And everybody always thinks that support comes through money. Yeah, that's if you're supporting my habits, my bills, my whatever, those type of things. But support comes in being there, caring, asking how someone's doing, listening when they need to talk. That kind of support, you know, sometimes you come from a world where it feels like that's the hardest thing to get, you know. And so I really am very appreciative. And though, like I say, YouTube is more than just a street, it's a country. And so, you know, sometimes we talk so much about what's wrong that we forget about what's right, or we forget about these people that you have come in contact with who don't even know you, but they actually care, you know. Remember saying people, oh, they're gonna turn on their family for you or their best. No, that's not what caring means. So I'm so happy to see that, because when you've lived in a me against the world state for so long, or me against just everybody, me against the world, me against the man, me against whatever it was I fought all my life, to see something different makes me appreciate it, that I even took time to find out it was something different out there. Because I could be like most who always believe, oh, you can't trust nobody. Nobody really cares. Everybody out for themselves. And it's not true. It's not true. It's not true. Yes, they do. You have to pick your battles so carefully. I always say, Cosmic, I always say, like, I've learned that as many a times I've won the battle and I lost the war. But I'm so used to the fight that I thought it was great to win the battle. But I've realized to pick my battles, and I may lose some battles, but I'm more concerned with winning the war. You know, that's my big thing. Like, in the war in myself, the war in me was, you know, fighting myself. I didn't even realize I was what's that movie, Fight Club? Just just tail whoopings every day to myself, to myself. And so even sometimes even last night when I was thinking about my youngest son, I think about, when I was showing them how to fight. Hey, AAA, when I was showing them how to fight and how to be strong, how to stand 10 toes down, I forgot to show them that sometimes you got to stop the fight, put the shield down. I didn't teach them that. I just taught them always be prepared. Always be prepared. But when you live like that, you don't learn how to take in all the beauties, all the joy. You don't know how to take in just the sun might have shined today. You can't take in none of that because you don't see it. You can't. You could be standing in the most beautiful day ever and you can't see it. And so I even thought about that last night. And one of the best parts of growing it's the hardest part too, is seeing you and seeing what you need to change or where you might be in fault or where you may have started this or planted this seed. You always have to think like that. And see, our children are one of the biggest signs of where we were in the raising time. And so it could have been in the earlier years, you were like this. And as you got older, you changed to like this. But you got to remember the younger years is when I was building a foundation for them. And so I always told my kids, hey, if you got to fight every day, then something is wrong. Something is really wrong. But you never be afraid for the fight. You never run from the fight. You never, so I was so busy living in a world. And see, some of it, like I said, I can't take any of it back because it's already done. But I know that one of the biggest fights that had me having them have a fight in them was because I never wanted them to ever have to fight the battles I fought so they wouldn't. So I was always preparing them and putting them 10 steps ahead that I couldn't even let them enjoy where they were because I was always preparing them for what's next. We're here already. They got to get to the next one. We got to move on. We got to keep going. You got to be prepared. You have to know how to make it. You have to know how to survive. You have to understand that this world is not, that there's no one who's going to care about you if you don't. And I was so busy pumping these things in them. And there should have been moments when we just sat down and I don't even want to say just sat down and enjoyed life because it was many a times that we sat down and enjoyed life. But I just wish instead of preparing them more for the battle, I just was preparing them for life. But I come from the battle. I come from the fight, and that's why I tell people, I ask all the time, like, what's the end game on all these fights, man? Like, what is the end game? So I just said today, like, you know what? I'm going to be blessed and happy about just knowing that I am blessed. I'm here. I'm here another day. That's another day to fix whatever it is that I decide to fix inside of myself today. And today, my biggest lesson that has come to me is that we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring. We don't. So we have to enjoy the minute, enjoy the moment, enjoy the time you're in. You know what I mean? I just really, really thought about that. And I also thought about how Saturday night when I talked to my son, he said, well, call me Sunday morning. You know what I mean? Give me a call Sunday morning. But then Sunday I got up, I messed with the dog and took care of the dog. And I did it live. Then I went for a walk. Then I came back and I relaxed and I sat down and I chilled. And when I looked up yesterday at 7 to call my son, I said, oh, well, I already know one thing about my son. If I call now, we'll be doing text, a text thing. And then I had got on the phone. And so the day just slipped. And so when I got that call at one of the things that bothered me was said, you were supposed to call him yesterday morning. Sunday morning, you were supposed to call him. And you just forgot about him. But I didn't forget about him. You can't forget about things that make your heart beat. And my children changed my life. I would love to tell you that, and then many parents can say that, especially all real parents, when that child that you raised came into your life, they changed it. They changed it. And now it didn't make you perfect because none of us will ever be perfect, but they changed my life. They gave me a reason to live. They gave me a reason to definitely never give up. They gave me a reason to make sure that all the things I couldn't do, they were able to do. You know, they made me a better person. They really did. So sometimes when you look up and you see what was once you, that you had to change because you had to grow and learn, you pray that even if you put it in them, that they come out of it as wise as you did. And hopefully, prayerfully, they come out of it before it can destroy them or anything around them. You know? Because in my mind, I was blessed enough to say I came out before I destroyed anything, destroyed me. And I used to even say before I destroyed them, but then sometimes when I look back on what seems like it's okay, it's not. So some people say, oh, well, you know, hey, well, we never did. I never ran. I had literally the whole time of my children's life, like even to this day, and I haven't been in this relationship for 2 years, though we're still good friends and everything. That's the only guy my kids know me to have been with. Can I say in my children's life, that's the only guy I've ever been with? No. But I do just certain things. So you always said, if I wasn't doing this and we didn't do that, you didn't live in a drug house, you didn't live in this, you didn't live in that, then I did the best, you know. But there were still things, like I said, my kids knew, hey, something happened. I am 10 toes now. I pull up on scenes. I've had incidents where my kids said, Mommy, sometimes I didn't think you was still as connected as you were. And I see that you are. And I told them, because it's long. Since I had sons that had to walk the street, then I had to keep my ear to it completely. And I had to make sure that I had a seat in it where I could speak. You know what I mean? Not even about what you can do tough. You know what I mean? Just that I could speak. I could come over here. I know who's running over here. I'm going to come up over here. And so I've always been involved. But when you look back now, I just think to myself, like, they don't even come from where I come from. You know? And so even if they try to move like I move, that's not their life. That's not their life. And so it's just reflections. And the best growth comes when you reflect on you, when you can check you, when you can see you were wrong. That's when growth comes. You know, because as long as I can put any asterisk on it or anything to the end of it that excuses it, then I won't grow. So that's one of the biggest reflections I'm in. And also, I'm thanking God that I'm in a space where I'm actually learning to trust. Because see, the more I can trust, the more I'm growing. Because because let me tell you something. I lived by a place where even if I didn't trust you, I never was trying to. I was never trying to get that close. And I still wasn't going to use anybody because I didn't want to be used. But at the same time, I just felt like, you know, people don't care. People got their own issues and they don't care. So I just didn't trust people. And like I said, I definitely didn't let women in my life. And I would have been afraid, like, for me to even, like, right now, say what's going on. I'd be so worried about all the women that would judge me, that would have something to say, that would swear it would never happen with their child or whatever it was. So this is just something they wouldn't. Well, let me tell you something about life. It doesn't have to happen to you. You know what I mean? And just because it does or it doesn't make you better or worse than somebody. You just really have to understand that. You really do. You really do. And so, but now I'm just at a place where some of the biggest growth is changing the whole process and thinking outside of the box that I've lived inside of for so long. Like, I've lived in a box of this is that, and there's nothing different. And it's not the truth. It's not the truth. So I'm thankful. I'm thankful of every test since I've decided to change my thought process and change the way I move and change how I respond. I'm just thankful that when those tests come, I've had the strength to pass them. Because then I can move on to something else that I need to work on. You know, because those tests will come up just to prove you weren't ready. You didn't really mean it. You really didn't. You really gonna go off. You really gonna snap. You really gonna lose it. You really gonna, you know. And so I'm so thankful for that. I'm so thankful for even starting this channel. You just don't know. Sometimes it's amazing when I see somebody say, oh, Danielle, you inspire. Oh, Danielle, you're doing this. And I think I'm really just coming on here and just telling you my truth, how I see things, how I saw this, where this brought me to, and that I really stopped judging people and judge the situation. Judge the situation. And then I really check myself too sometimes, because while I'm judging the situation, it reminds me of where I would have been in that situation or how I might have handled it. And sometimes I think, I think I might have been worse. I think I might have done things that I wouldn't have been able to take back. They're out there. And so even with my words, I'm always trying to be careful in what I say, because I don't want to offend nobody. I don't want anybody to think I'm, downing them, dissing them, judging them. Who am I to judge? Who am I? I am flesh. If you got something different on the inside, forget the skin color, forget your body weight, all that. If you got something going on different in your organs than me, if you don't have a heart, a brain, kidneys, lungs, we are all the same in there. We are all the same. We are all the same in there. So I always try to remember that. I knew this was gonna happen. I started to ask Amber, when are you going on? Because I really wanted to finish watching, because she was live earlier and then it got off. And I'm looking, wait, did she say 350? Did she say 350? I'm gonna have to say we continue. But yeah, like I said, I'm really just trying to, like I said, better myself. Oh, hey, Colin John. I'm really trying to do better. I really am. So it's a process. And I'm just glad I started this, because I started in October. When I started, the first day I started it, like I said, the first video I ever put out, I was in the process. I had literally from June. It might have been the end of July. Sometimes times slip up on me, but it probably was right before I moved here. I got my hair cut, and when I got it cut, I had braids in it. And I said, well, I'm about to grow it out. I'm just going to allow my hair to grow. And so my sides can finally start growing back, and then we'll go on from there. So by the time October came, my hair had grew, but it didn't, that's right here. So it started curling up. But it was maybe about this long. So it was at this point where you couldn't really do anything with it. I was starting to feel like, oh my goodness, I've been past the stage of what's mine makes me look bad, because I love who I am. I want you to know exactly, like, even if I meet a guy, I want him to know what Danny looks like. See, Danny doesn't wear makeup and stuff. So I want you just to know who I am. I don't want to, be like, who's that? Who just walked in the room? Like, it's me, boo. Bonnie, it's me. It's me. We've been together 3 years. Me. The one you're sleeping with. So I'm always trying to, but when I came on, it was things pulling me back, because I know we're dealing with the internet, and so we're dealing with the world. And so the world has been taught to dismiss, destroy all these things to people, and not just say, hey, I don't like you, I don't watch you. But you'll hear more people say, I don't like that person, but I was watching their last live and they did this and they did that. If I don't like you, why am I watching you? Because let me tell you something, when the sound of your voice gets on my nerves, I can't listen. I cannot listen. I can't. I can't. There's no way in here I can't listen. So I was like, oh, you know what? Don't start this channel, because then what you're gonna do is you're gonna be fighting with people about shit that doesn't matter. I said, no, you know what? I'm gonna start this channel, and not only am I gonna start it, I'm gonna come out right where I'm at. And I'm going to tell you where I'm at. I'm going to tell you that right now, you know what I mean? I was in a home. I had a house for 6 years. And then when I couldn't buy it because it wasn't a good buy for me, and everything was just at this point, especially last year, the inflation was up so high for all the people who didn't pay rent or couldn't pay rent. Whatever their circumstances were, everyone had the price of everything out. It was a complete seller's market, not a buyer's market. So now, things are changing and flipping up and switching up. But at that time, it was just like, I don't know what to do. And so I came out here, and my sister, my friend of over 20 years, she said, girl, come here and just bring the dogs. Come here with me. You'll be fine. It's just me here. Just come on. Come on. And however long you need to stay. And I said, girl, I'll just be here a month. But of course, if October came, and that's when you see me start my live, I was already there 3 months. So there was a part of me that felt really insecure, because my insecurity is failure has always been no option for me And any time that I feel I'm failing, I think of all the people who said that was what it was going to be. I think of all the times because of learning curves or disabilities you may have had, you were told there's no way you will. It brought that into me. So I was like, I cannot get depressed. Let me just go on here and just be me. You want to come? Because I didn't want to come on here. My goal was not to come on YouTube to try to take people down, to prove I'm better, to try to diss and dog out anybody. It wasn't to do that. It was to come on here and say, hey, when it comes to all this BS that's going on, somebody got to come and make it make sense. Like, this don't make sense. So let's break it down. See, because that's what everybody wants. They want to break it down and try to get some understanding. But that doesn't mean I want to have to choose who I'm going to watch, and choose if I'm going to speak in your chat, choose if I'm going to give you a super chat under an alias because I don't want nobody. That's not what it's about. That's not what it's about. I just want to come on and be me. And in the process, afterwards, after we get that out, because it's always going to be a part of me, but then start doing things I wanted to do, like producing things or bringing out little skits or making little jokes, little commercials, and bringing those out, because that's a part of me. That's a part of me. You know, when I watch Euphoria and the girl was doing the play, girl sister's doing a little play, and she says because she's always just pictured her life a movie. I really could relate to that because there's a part of my life when in the darkness, I just imagined if it was a movie. So when I walked down the street, I had a whole soundtrack playing in my head. When I was places and I needed to zone out, I just let the music play in my mind. And this was a movie. And there were times when real life would happen, somebody might pass, things of that nature, and you realize this ain't a movie. Because if it was, I'd just rewind back to when you were here. And so then I'd be reminded that this is real. But sometimes I had to live inside a fantasy. But I've known since I was a short, I used to walk with my sister to school and tell her people are interviewing me because I'm famous. And they want to know about my life. And reality TV didn't even exist back then. So that's a part of me. But I had to get to the nitty gritty first. I need you to know who I am. I just can't walk out like you knew me since birth. You know what I mean? Like you really were following me since I was a little kid going to school. I had to come out and truly let you know who I am. To anyone who's seen me in the chats or seen me speak on a page, I want you to know who I was. That this wasn't an act, that I wasn't a keyboard faker, that this is truly me. This is who I am. This is who I am. I don't even wish to be anyone different. I'm not going to try to be anyone different. I'm not going to pretend I'm someone different. This is just me. This is me. And sometimes things catch me and they feel emotional because for so long I refused to cry. I probably had went to a few funerals and never cried. I had a buddy when he passed. It took me almost 10 years to cry. It took me 10 years. And just one day, I was watching a video and it just hit me. He's gone. Because I knew how to, you know how to just deal. Not deal with it, just deal. Just keep holding stuff back. But one of the things I've learned in changing my life and my thought process is all that you buried back there has to come out. It has to come up because it's part of what made you who you are, made you the way you were if it was, when it wasn't right. So I had to let it out, and I didn't realize how much storage compartment I had in my brain that I just didn't think about, that I didn't remember. And then I also, because I was really checking and evaluating me, I also learned how much wrong I had done. And it wasn't okay. It wasn't right. It wasn't justified. It just wasn't. Like I told you, had Will Smith smacked Chris Rock a year ago, I would have been like, oh yeah, keep his wife's name the fuck out your mouth. And I would have literally thought that and nothing else. And nothing else. But when this brain seen it, I said, oh, no, bro. That just wasn't even professional. And it wasn't even worth it. Because like I said, if we playing chess, then the truth of the matter is when I make this move is thought about what your next move might be. And if that's your move, this will be my next move. But just in case you make this move, then I thought it's a thought process. It's not just, oh, move a piece. Then you move a piece. Then I'm move a piece. It's an actual thought process. And not only am I thinking about what I'm doing, I'm trying to think about what move you're thinking I'm going to make. How you think you're going to stop me, or how you think, you know what I mean? And it's, so when people say life is chess, not checkers, you better know how to play chess. Because if you do, then you'd understand it is definitely thinking it through. And that's how I'm playing life right now. Because I was playing checkers before. And now I'm really playing chess. I am really taking my time and really sitting back. And you know what I mean? And sometimes I got to stop the game. Stop the clock. We'll get back on this later. Because that's literally what I'm doing with my life. And so I said that I definitely wanted to stop in here, say, what up? Give some love. I'm going to shoot over here real quick and catch up this part 2 to Amber. And then, like I said, I know me. I'm not gonna go to sleep early. So I think what I am gonna do is while I'm listening to Amber, I think I'm gonna go ahead and take a shower because I always think about my grandma. When you were sick, if we were sick, when you got a little better, and you didn't even have to be all the way better. My grandma said, "Now go in there and wash that sick off." Trust me, you're gonna feel a lot better than you do right now when you wash that sick off. And so, even when it's hurt, even when it's stressed, even when it's something, I say, let's just go wash it off. Let's just go wash it off. And so that's what I want to do. I want to wash off where it was some anxiety, where it was this, because even if you're not feeling it, if it's just sitting there, it might linger back up. It might find its way back into me. So I was like, no, let me go just wash it out. Let me go rinse around and rinse it off. And so I'm going to definitely go do that while hey fam, hey Silence. I'm definitely going to go do that, go check. So I'm going to listen to her while I do that. And I guarantee you guys, I'm actually going to set a time for you. Let me double check on everybody. Because, I watch so many people. I got to look. And so I literally looked. I said, okay, I don't see any reminders set. I don't see anybody saying they're coming. Oh, and Cups is live. Oh my God, just everybody's live right now. Okay. I'm going to come back it's 4:00 my time. I'm going to come back at 7 and I'm going to do a live. And you know what? I'm actually going to find my speaker. I think you two better get ready. I think we need some music. I think we need to put some music. I think I need to express my feeling through song. And so I think when I come back, that is exactly what I am going to do. I might just play a letter. Because they love to mute me too. Say they don't just. I said I thought it was supposed to be just a copyright, So whatever. But they like, nah. I think we're gonna mute you too. So just in case you were saying anything worth anything, we're gonna mute. That's what had me stop playing the music because, like I said, I tried to give respect to someone. One of my good friends lost her boyfriend. I tried to give some respect and play some music, and under the starlights, I had on my whole little. What is that thing called? Put some stars on the wall and stuff. What is that thing called? See, when you're sleepy, everything is like, wait, what is my name again? What is it? But I'm not even sleepy because I feel wide awake and I've had 2 cups of coffee. So that definitely always make you feel like you're definitely up when you're not. But when I did it that day, they muted the whole video. So it was never even said the beautiful things I said about him. And so that really hurt my feelings. Because when it comes from the heart, even if you can say great things that are about the same thing, the first time was the original straight from the heart. Just like right now, I'm talking straight from my heart. There's no script. I don't think of a conversation. I literally turn on my music and I talk to you guys. I do. I come from my heart. And the only time it's going to pull back is when I don't want to offend or I just don't know how to say it where someone can twist it somewhere else. Now, if you choose to twist it, then go ahead, put it in a knot and enjoy it. But other than that, I'm literally just coming from my heart and that's it. But yes, I got to do some music. I got to do some music. And then Heidi was talking music. Everything is music. I've been listening to music all day. And I'm like, you know what? We're going to give some respect to the music. So I'm like, let me charge my speaker up. I had packed up everything when I was leaving for March. So a lot of my little gadgets like that, if it's not the things I use every day, like my game, my laptop, I think I even I did because it hasn't been out since then. My iPad is up because I use my iPad a lot, but I don't use it so much that when I realized I was staying an extra month, I was like, oh, I can stay in the thing. But I'm going to pull my speaker out. And I'm going to charge it up so that we can have some music. Play some songs, cut them on and off, or whatever. Take some requests because I want people to name that song that makes them happy. But then that's what I'm gonna start. I'm gonna start with my happy song, and then I want people to tell me what songs make them happy, and we're gonna play them. We're gonna play them. We're gonna set the mood to music. That's what we're gonna do. So I'm gonna come back on here, like I said, I said 7 or 7:30. Let's say 7. We'll say 7 to be safe. It's 4 right now. We'll say 7. So that's what time I'll come back. And I need to learn how to schedule a lot, so then at least people know when I'm going to. So then you guys can have a warning. But yeah, so guys, I will be back at 7, and I will probably see all of you around on these streets until I come back. But I'm gonna come back today at 7. But I definitely want to drop in and say thanks, guys, and I love you, and thank you for loving me for me, because I've always been me and knew the people that really loved me, but there was always a part of me that believed that just being you wasn't good enough. And so I am so firm and so in love with me for real that I'm really just giving you the best of me. That's all. So thank you for giving me. Hey, G5. I see that. I see your little funny emoji. You know your picture. I knew it. I'm talking about that's G5 right now. Some people I know who you are because I can see your little thing. I'm like, okay, I know who that is. I can, even when I can't see all the way the name, I can see the 3 A's. I'm like, oh, that's Triple I. Silence and security, your fam. I always know when you come in, you know. So thank you guys. Thank you everybody for stopping by. And like I said, think about your favorite song. Hey, Queen of O'Hara. Yes, I hope everyone's having a great day too. And then, so like I said, today we will play our happy songs. Think about that song and I have a couple that make me really happy. And so I'm probably gonna pick Cameo because that Candy by Cameo always makes me so happy. I don't know why, it just makes me happy. It just reminds me of being a kid, and it just makes me happy. But find your happy song, because when we come back, people, you name it, I'm playing it till they shut us down. Until they decide I can't play it anymore. But we're going to get away with it until they stop it. But yeah, so we will do some of that just for some music, just to enjoy it, you know? Hey, if I'm going to break the rules, let's break the rules and have some fun. And so that's what I'm going to do. So guys, I will check you all out at 7 o'clock. So I'm on Eastern time. Oh, God. Guys, I'm telling you, don't get me started on that. I'm just better to you. Hey, it's 4 o'clock here right now, right? So whatever time you're on, add 3 hours to it. And that's when I'll be back. So guys, I will see you later. Thank you for stopping by. Love. And Cosmic, thank you for coming in. Enjoyed seeing you. I hadn't seen you in here before, but I really love when I see new faces, new kings and queens in the building. I love it. Because it's a kingdom. Everybody is one in here at all times. So the whole time you're in here, you want. Now when you get out, be whatever you want to be. But in here, everyone is someone. Everyone is special. Everyone is royalty. You know, no one is the worst thing they did, the baddest thing because we're not on that. That's not what we're on here. So welcome. Love you. Thanks for coming by, everybody, and have a good one. Thank you, Susan. And I'll see you guys. I'm sure I'm going to see half you guys over here when I shoot over the Amber. All right, guys. See ya.